Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today I want to give you my long-term review of the Beta 300. A few of you have asked, how has the Beta been holding up and stacking up compared to the other brands that I've ridden? So today I'll give you my full long-term thoughts and review of this machine after 200 hours of hard enduro abuse. Now previously we did a full review of this machine at just over 50 hours, which you can check out right here. Truthfully, my opinions since then haven't really changed. Today, we'll talk a little about the specific performance characteristics of the Beta, but honestly, this video is less of a bike review and more of an explanation of my experience on this bike. Plain and simple, the Beta has given me an experience that no other brand has really shown me in recent years. I feel like I'm obligated to you guys to explain this. So before I start, I want to mention I'm not tied to any brand, Beta or other. Of course, I'm employed by IRC to make these videos, but all these videos are my real opinions. Whether the channel was named IRC or Rich Larson, it really wouldn't matter. These videos would all be the same. This is why I love IRC. It's a group of guys that are just as passionate about dirt bikes as I am. Now, the Moto Station, a Salt Lake-based shop, partnered with myself and IRC getting me these bikes. My point is, that's who I'm tied to. No specific manufacturers other than IRC. And really, our tires fit any brand of motorcycle. So I've got to test them all, and I plan on it. Now, back to the Beta. It's taken me a while to put into words my experience on this bike, but I think I've got it figured out. To me, the Beta 300 itself, more than any other brand, does the best job of reminding me why I love riding motorcycles in the first place. I know that's a bold statement, but again, for me, there's a lot of reasons why this is true. I've rode a lot of bikes. I know I'm guilty of getting on something new and immediately loving it, like the flavor of the week. I'm not a picky rider. I run most of my bikes how they are, stock, or how they're handed to me. I think I'm pretty good at adapting to any machine. I don't need to make changes. So a long-term review is largely based on how much I like riding the bike after putting hundreds of hours on it. Do I still get the same enjoyment? Well, I still love the Beta. Simply put, I have the least number of complaints about this bike compared to any other brand. There's one really important characteristic that the Beta has that I believe has kept me interested for so long: the way it runs. This is so important to me personally. The 36mm key and carb with the Beta 300 motor equals the best running machine that I've ever owned. For my altitude, I use the Suzuki NECW needle on the second clip depending on the temperature with a 38 pilot and a 160 main. The bike never lean bogs, three strokes, detonates, or hesitates in any way. There's a reason this is so important to me. This is my meditation. When a bike doesn't run perfectly, it takes me away from that. I don't want to go too deep here, but when I ride and I'm performing at 100%, nothing exists. There's no ego. I'm conscious and unconscious. My reactions and movements are unavoidable. An ultra presence. I just am. Now, that might be a bit much for some of you, and that's okay. Honestly, I'm just reviewing a bike, and I'm sure to some it's not that serious, but to me it is. That's why I ride, and the Beta makes it so I don't want to stop. Because the bike runs so perfectly, it keeps me in that zone longer and allows me to honestly ride better. I also think the bike itself is really well designed and well rounded. The power has that fun, snappy characteristic that suits my style of riding well. Double blips, zaps, and splatters come easy on the Beta. I love the bike's power for that one-off Instagram clip style riding that I do. It's great for turn track, enduro cross, and hard enduro. I think the well-rounded feel of the bike keeps it interesting no matter what I'm riding. The KYB suspension also has this well-rounded characteristic. With a few clicks, it's perfect for enduro cross or turn track, and in a few clicks, it's dialed for hard enduro. Again, the well-rounded suspension making it fun to ride as well as adjustable to any situation. The stock clutch, with all the abuse that I give, has lasted the entire time, which was extremely surprising. With still no slipping, I'm impressed. The clutch pull took some time to adjust to, being it was a bit stiff, but knowing the 2022 models get an improved diaphragm clutch with a much softer pull, I hope to get my hands on one. The reliability has been great. No major problems whatsoever other than a cracked subframe and a few broken plastics. The stock Beta plastics do seem somewhat brittle. Parts availability hasn't been bad, although I haven't broken that much. That being said, as far as engine reliability goes, I've had zero problems. To mention a few things I'd love for Beta to improve on, I'm sure you've heard the seat is the hardest thing I've ever used. Luckily, I stand a lot. The turning radius is by far the worst of any machine. It definitely took some getting used to, but once I adapted, I forgot about it. But switching between bikes, I always notice how tight every other brand turns and how soft every other brand's seat is. The Beta is equipped with Nissan brakes. I did have to do a master cylinder rebuild on both front and rear, and truthfully, I've always preferred the feel of Brembos compared to BrakeTech, Magura, and Nissan. Is it a deal breaker? Not at all. I'd say the Nissan is better than the BrakeTech and about the same as Magura. Now, I could go on, but I'd be really just repeating the things that I've said in the first video and the comparisons that we've done. The point is, I love the Beta. If you buy one, will you feel the same? Maybe. We probably aren't the same style person or rider, so take my opinion for what it's worth. All I know is I keep smiling when I'm on two wheels, and that's all I want. I hope you're enjoying the channel, and if you are, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto and my personal Instagram page at RichLarson511. And until next time, keep shredding.